Oh no. Hi. Hata sikuwa ready kukua kwa. Sorry.
Thank you. Now, as we admit more to come in the first session we had no teacher Atlanta, but thank you, teacher Atlanta, to join us. Also, for the second session, sorry for the first session, we had a problem network, but for this second session, I think God is there for us. Now, as our colleagues joins in the second session, we are going to talk about how to handle, especially handling indiscipline cases, especially in our working areas, after being understanding the term professional ethics. Now we want to know now how to handle some indiscipline cases. Now I will usher in teacher Isaiah to take from that point to introduce for us how this tactic or how are the measures being used to handle either indiscipline cases. Now, teacher Isaiah, welcome in.
Thank you, teacher Bumbo. You hear me, teachers? Huh?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear.
Thank you. So, indiscipline cases among children is our second part. We also have handling of difficulty parents. But to introduce indiscipline cases among children. What is indiscipline? Indiscipline is an action considered to be wrong and not generally accepted as proper in a setup or a society. We have school indiscipline because we are talking of children. School indiscipline is any mode of behavior, action, and conduct which deviates from the established and approved rules and regulations of a school and the acceptable code of behavior, action, norms, and the ethics of society at large. Therefore, behaviors that do not conform to acceptable and permitted standards are considered as acts of indiscipline. I have mentioned several times there. There's a part I want to stress on. This one where I mentioned norms and ethics of the society at large. You see, sometimes we hear cases in court because as per the norms of this society, children are supposed to do this and this. But when they join some schools, especially in Form 1 schools manned by different religions, they are told you are not supposed to put on this way, you are not supposed to have this type of dresses, you see. So that is why we mentioned the word norms and the ethics of the society at large. We have these cases in schools, and these cases can be deliberate or unintentional. How can they be deliberate? For example, a child can come to school late, but it was not intentional. Maybe they had problems back at home. There could be some unavoidable circumstances, like in the case of a transport problem, weather, sometimes it's raining. We even have civil wars that sometimes make children not to go to school. So you see, you absent yourself. So that is why we are saying it can be deliberate or unintentional. Now, which are the examples of these indiscipline cases? We have cases like disobedience to authority. We have the authority that is right from the principal or the head teacher to the class prefect or class secretaries, depending on the institution. They give maybe instructions like in performing tasks in class or in school, then you do what? You disobey. That is indiscipline case. Violation of school or class rules. You violate, that is you go against. You know, the class is supposed to be clean all the time, but you as the class prefect or the leader in charge of that class, don't bother. You don't have the duty roster on who is supposed to sweep the class, and finally the class ends up not being swept. You as the class prefect and the class members have violated the school rules and regulation, because the rules and regulation of the school is that classes must be clean. The school compound must be clean. You're also told that you should not go dropping litters all over. So if you are caught doing that, that is termed as a discipline case. We also have defined the teacher's instructions. We give a lot of instructions wherever we are. It can be during co-curricular activities. We say nobody's supposed to be in class during this time. When it is clubs day, sorry, we say during clubs day, especially on Thursdays and some institutions on Thursdays, people are supposed to be in their various clubs and open clubs. We try that. Sorry, I don't know whether somebody has an issue or it's a problem. Okay, we can move on. So you defy that. And
there is an echo. There is an echo. I don't know, maybe there is a gadget near your phone, or maybe something near you that is echoing, encouraging the echo of your gadget. Kindly.
Sorry, I don't have any gadget around.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I was saying you defy and be at the right, at the wrong place. You be where you are not supposed to be. That is defying the teacher's instructions. Lateness. I had mentioned this. You come to school late, or you come to class late. I don't know. Some of these boys, we do find that some boys, like my school is in a hill and a forest, a government forest. So sometimes they come and hide in the forest. What they are doing there, I cannot tell. So they happen to come to class late. Some even miss classes. So that is part of the school indiscipline. Leaving class without permission. A teacher is in class. A teacher is not in class. The learners just walk out of class without permission. That is why we have the class prefect or class secretaries. When you want to go out, that one should be a class rule. Please, you have to get permission from the person in charge, whether the class prefect or the teacher. Some in some schools or some learning institutions, they even walk out when the teacher is in without permission. So it is part of the school indiscipline. Lastly, I can talk of truancy. They absent themselves from school without permission, and some boys have that tendency. This week the boy is not in school. The following week he comes, maybe on Monday, Tuesday. That is for 2 days in a week. Then he walks away. That is truancy, and you are not aware. Even if the parents have not reported. So that is what we term indiscipline cases among children and probably in school. Otherwise, we could be ahead of time, but that is what indiscipline among children is all about. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Now, we want to talk about the causes of this indiscipline, especially among either our pupils, our learners, and also even the parents. Now, I will usher in teacher Anastasia so that she can go on from that point. Teacher Anastasia, please.
Okay. Hello.
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 Okay, let's proceed. I'm here to present the causes of indiscipline cases among children. The first one is bullying. This is use of force to threat or abuse others. And we have types of bullying. One is physical. This is fighting with others, kicking others anyhowly. The other one is verbal. teasing others, cracking jokes which may hurt someone. The last one is emotional, hurt people from inside. A child may be abused by another one, but inside the child is affected emotionally. The next point is disobedient to authority. As we know, in every school or class, there is rules and regulation which govern us them. So a child may not be able to follow the laid rules and regulation. For example, the child might leave the class without any permission. The next one is violation of school rule or class rules. Children may walk out without permission to others children may walk out without permission, others coming to school late. The next one is failing to complete assignments. At times, children will refuse to do their homework because maybe they want to play. The next one is truancy. This is where a child decides to stay from school without any reason. A child may wake up maybe in the morning say, "Mom, I'm not going to school," without any permission. So that one is another cause of indiscipline cases. And the last one is leaving class without permission. And this one, it is almost what I have explained. Back to Teacher Bumbo.
Thank you, thank you. We are going on well.
Excuse me.
Now,
Excuse me, Teacher Bumbo and the entire group.
yes, proceed, please.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm saying this. She actually repeated what I had explained. And as per what we have there, she was to talk on causes of indiscipline cases. I think that is what is there, if I'm not wrong. So, hello.
Yes, we
Hello.
are getting you.
Yeah, I'm saying she was explaining on what I had actually mentioned, but according to what we had planned is that she was to handle the causes of indiscipline cases. Now, without wasting time, actually, I know we are ahead of time. Let me mention this: the causes, what leads to the problems she has been mentioning, and what I had actually dealt with. That is disobedience violation. What leads to this? We have what we call peer pressure. These children sometimes are under pressure from their age mates. That can lead them to fighting. This truancy or absenting them from class. Maybe they are doing something somewhere with their peer friends. That is the age mates, the classmates. Two, we have drugs. They could be under the influence of drugs. This child may have taken marijuana or may have taken the locally brewed pombe. So he or she oversleeps. I'm sorry to use she because people don't believe even the young girls we have nowadays take the locally brewed. So it do happens. And as a result of taking this and oversleeping, he or she goes to school late. Well, they want to sneak somewhere. That is why this girl or boy walks out of class without permission. So those are some of the causes. We still have more causes of this, and we also have this dysfunctional dysfunctional families. That could be a cause. When the father come at home drunk, sometimes fights, chase them away. So the children get used to that culture of violence. They feel that fighting or abusing is the only way you can solve problems at home. Is the only way we can do things. Sorry. So when this boy or girl goes to school, he happens to practice what he or she experiences at home. They imitate. We also have this social media. You know, they like watching these fun videos like using guns, wrestling, and those other things. Then after that, they want to go and practice it. It ends up causing problems because personally, I don't like these things. I don't want you to do this, but you want to do it to me when I'm not after these things. So it causes problems. Now, those are some of the problems. I don't know whether Teacher Bumbo had listed some, but those are the causes of indiscipline cases to these young children. Otherwise, thank you for that.
Thank you, Teacher Isaiah, for that. I think we have more than that, but because of time, we might use the one that you have given to us. So also, apart from that, as we proceed with our how to handle this indiscipline cases, we have also challenges. Challenges faced by either these students or by these pupils, whereby I will usher in Teacher Atilanda also to speak on that as we proceed. Teacher Atilanda, welcome.
Good morning, colleagues.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
teacher.
morning.
Morning.
Morning. Thank you very much for taking time to attend our session. So I'm going to speak about the challenges that are faced, particularly in dealing with students. I am majorly on indiscipline cases. One of the biggest challenges which I'm sure all of us have experienced is parental interference. Parents can sometimes come to a conclusion without listening to a story from maybe the teacher. I'm sure we've experienced that many times. And okay, I would like to give you a story of my own experience, a very short story, which I hope you will learn from, of my own experience. So I had a boy in the class I was handling. It was a class, 3 to 4 years old. So this boy, I'll give him a fictitious name. The boy was called, let me look for a good common name, Jaden. Jaden came, Jaden came to school one day. I was the class teacher of playgroup at that time. He came to school with a kinundu on the face, nundu too. So you see, like the face is swollen. And that morning, the school used to have rules that when children are coming in, you have to do a health check. You see who is coughing, who is sneezing, or who has any kind of injury on their body, a visible mark, so as to reduce cases of parents' complaints. So Jaden came to school. As I was, there was a rule of hugging children. You hug the children as they come in. So as I was hugging Jaden, I noticed he was squinting, like feeling pain. So when I looked on his face, he had a swollen nundu. I don't know. I can call it nundu so that we just understand it in our local terms. So actually, I was so busy that day because my assistant teacher had asked for leave. So I was alone in a class of very playful and energetic children. They were 37 children. So I didn't report to the management. For some reason, I forgot. That afternoon, while the children were going for transport, another teacher entered the school van. She didn't know the story. So she entered the school van. Immediately, she arrived at Jaden's home. The mother was there. The mother had recently given birth, so she still had these emotional issues. She had temper. So immediately Jaden was dropped like this. The mother was like, Nani alikugonga kwa uso? Who bet you on the face? Which teacher was in your class? Jaden was like, Teacher Atlanta was in my class. She's the class teacher. Hey, the mother came with police to school. She came with police to school. Imagine. And we had to write a statement in Kasarani. So what had happened apparently, Jaden used to be a very naughty boy. So at home, the mom had gone early for work. You see, these working mothers, the way they leave early, they come late. So the mother had gone for work. Jaden was disturbing the nanny. The nanny decided to take matters in her hands. I think she slapped Jaden and then Jaden hit the wall, because that's the story we gathered afterwards. He hit the wall and time was running. He had to get into the school van and come the way he is. And me, for my case, I was busy on that day. I didn't report the case. In fact, I forgot until the matter, it became something else. So this parent totally refused to listen to my story completely. And the child, the indiscipline started even from home. This case of busy parents, the indiscipline started from home. He used to disturb even at school. Sometimes he would come, you see the way 3 and 4 year olds are very hyper. That's what used to happen. So it was a long story, but eventually the court case was withdrawn and they didn't find adequate evidence, because the CCTVs of the school showed that the child was happy throughout the time they were in school, and I was interacting with them so well. So what am I saying? Some parents can interfere when you're trying to do something. That is a case that is just almost related to discipline, but though the discipline case happened at home, but you can see the way a parent can just look at one side without listening to it's a big challenge, and I'm sure we faced all that. A child can go home and say a story that is not there, and then you are there, you are trying to come up with your own story. A parent doesn't want to listen, so you won't know how to handle the child. You might actually become a little bit neutral. So like now for my case, the weeks during the term, it was really hard to have Jaden, because I'm a human being. Sometimes you can be tempted to favor others over Jaden. But you see, it happens sometimes, and it's a big challenge for all of us. So another thing is a lack of appropriate role models. This I'm very sure we've encountered even in our online work. There are children who just come from homes where parents are not there, they are not available for them, or where parents are just violent people who use abusive language all the time, who also maybe don't mind about how other people feel like. So you find children learn by imitating. They come closer and closer, and eventually they pick up the language and the actions that are spoken at home. So you might find that a parent innocently said something like, acha umama. Oh, actually, I had a student who was always telling other children in class, acha umama wewe, acha ujinga. So upon investigating, because that language is very strange for a 4-year-old, upon investigating, I found out that the aunt who used to stay with them,
Okay. Are we able to, like when we talk, Mr. Bungo, Mr. Bungo, can you to avoid background? So maybe Atlanta can unmute herself and proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Boom.
The problem is with Al-Bashir. Kindly mute Al-Bashir, yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, you might find that children don't have proper role models, especially when it comes to how they handle things and how the kind of language they speak, which may amount to indiscipline challenges that we face. Because I was giving an example of a student I also had in class. Every time a child would do something the student doesn't like, he would go like, acha umama, or acha ujinga, or acha ufala. Okay, so some of those things are not very encouraging, because they pose great challenges when it comes to dealing with discipline. Again, we also have issues of inadequate knowledge. we may not have any kind of knowledge of how we can discipline a child. Some people assume it's a cane that will work, but a cane does not work for everyone. What about online activities where you can't reach a child and cane them physically? Yeah, so some people assume that putting a child on timeout can work. What about online activities? So those are some of the challenges that we face. And finally, the parents, okay, this actually comes from the way the social status of parents. You might find some parents are really influential in the way things are done where their children are learning. Others, it's because of their economic status. Others, because of their positions of power. And others, it's just because of how outspoken they are. They like defending their children. When you get late even a minute, they like that. So when a child becomes indisciplined in such a case, a teacher will face a big challenge. So that's some of the biggest challenges we face when we are trying to implement discipline. Back to you, Teacher Bumbo.
Thank you. Now we have like 11 minutes. I'm going to use a few minutes, then I usher in Teacher Isaiah to conclude with us. Now, we have seen the introduction part of it, the causes, the challenges of indisciplined cases. Now, I want to tackle or to talk about the handling difficulty parents, and also essentially value for handling those parents or different people. Now, here I want even this goes even to us, all of us staff, and it can really help you, especially in your working zone. I'm going to talk about the issue, especially I'm going to base on one example that is either a case of rape in our school. All of us, we are teachers, and some of us, we are heads either in some of our institute. And this one will really help you not even to do it anymore any day. And here I'm going to talk two languages, that is Kiswahili stroke English, so that we can get this point clearly. Now, when handling difficulties parents, especially in discipline cases, for example, a rape cases arises in your school or in your institute or in your working zone. As a teacher, first of all, you must be very keen to handle such an issue. And that issue is not easy, especially to handle. Once times I've been also ahead in one of the institute, but it happened, my deputy happened to handle that case. As we are talking, that deputy, even he was removed from just from the commission. His name was removed without even earning anything from a private sector. Then he went home because he dealt or he solved the issue of raping without knowing. That's why I came to explain to him that never try to rush to such a things without consulting either the head or consulting the mantle or the powers that is governing you. Now, we have difficulties like that issue. It has happened to your institute or to your cases, whereby you should first thing, no surprise. For example, we have either a head or the deputy or the teacher, and you are the teacher or a class teacher or just a teacher. So you should not handle such a case the way you want, because it is a sensitive issue to you to handle it. For example, you should not have a surprise, no surprise for it. This means that make sure that you have the key or you bring a parents to the board, whereby after bringing the parents to the board, I'm going now to talk about like now another issue, then I will come to talk about the issue of the rape. Now, either your parents, the parents is complaining about his or her child, about either an issue of either not performing well in class. So you bring a parent to the board to talk about it. Then you talk to the parents, whereby you can also have an evidence of time by either providing or either to discuss with that parents on how his or her child has either particular time either to tackle or to deal with his studies at home. Because some parents, when a child comes from the school, you find that when they reach home, they believe that you have done all at school. So at home, you should do one or two things. Some parents sits comfortably on his or her chair, waiting either the child to prepare for them, not knowing that they have been given even a work at school to do. So you should talk to the parents well. Also alert the chief executive or also to either the head of the department. Either we have guide and counseling. Bring that one. Don't be your guide and counseling yourself and you solve the issue. Bring the teacher or the department about guide and counseling to solve the issue so that you can tackle it. Also, I can talk about that you should listen and ask the question keenly to the parents. For example, you should not just join hands to the parents. When you say yes, yes. No. You should be very keen with such a thing. Ask some question. And also parents to explain to you what makes him or her not happy about the performance of a child. Because you should not agree with the parents all things, but also you should be either, you should balance. Either a child is correct or either the parents is correct. So you should be very keen on that, either handling the issue of that. Also try to find out what is the issue or what is the challenges or what is the source of the problem of either the parents. Because when handling difficulties with those parents, some they are harsh, you should now come to a point whereby you should not become harsh the way the parents is harsh. Remember, we have really been trained. So you must be very keen with handling such a parents. Don't comment everything. Yes. No, you should be very keen in especially giving your feedback to that parent, because either it might be harsh or good, whereby if it is harsh, it might hurt that parent, whereby it brings a problem. Like essential values of handling like such a parents, you should be patient. This means that when she talks or he talks, you should be patient. You should not be harsh to utter any word because it might harm him or her. Also have self-control. Also, you must answer that parents keenly and also maturely. Now I come to my point as I conclude. The point of rape, either among us or among the staff. It is sensitive, even that issue, either your child has been raped outside the school. A head teacher or a class teacher, you should not handle that case in your school. Wherever you will be, a head teacher or a class teacher, in case your child of your school has been raped outside of the school, you should not handle that case. Leave to the hands of the government, chief's office, and the others. Reason because if you involve in that, we have what we call the act of the teachers. For example, I've said that we have codes of regulation for the teachers. You can have the book itself so that you can go through it. Now, whereby when you talk about that one, we have like the procedure to follow on that. According to the article 237, verse 2 of it, that is part E of the Constitution, and section 34 of the Act. It gives us that we are going to be punished according to such a indiscipline cases if we handle it with either in such a way as if it is our matter. So in our article of the teachers, also we have the rules. So you should not go there. Also, you might, as the teacher, make sure that you have you go through the article, children article, like now section 76, part 3 of it. We must be very keen to handle such an issue, especially we as the teachers. So you should not handle that issue. For example, a rape has taken place to your outside the school, then you say, later your case, later hiyo nitadili, huyo mtu nitakabiliana na yeye. No, you know that hiyo kesi itakapofika mbele, unaweza rukwa na mzazi akasema you are among them. That's why I say that issue, if it is to handle, leave to the chief and leave to the other communities to hold up the case. Don't involve yourself. Yes, the child is yours, but don't try to involve in such a case. Remember, these children, when they are in school, They are ours. They are under the school rules. When they go out, they are there. So don't involve in such a things. So you should handle such a case in a maturely way, because the article, the code of regulation for the teachers and the children acts, it guides us. Now for those few remarks, I would like Mr. Isaiah to give us a recommendation in 1 minute, then we hand over either to any question that we have. Mr. Isaiah, welcome. Can you unmute yourself, Mr. Isaiah?
Yes, thank you, Teacher Bumbo and the entire group for listening and for the time. We don't have that time actually. So for the interest of time, let me say this. We have a part that he had promised to handle, that is essential values for handling difficult people. We have patience, we have assertiveness, that is speaking your mind. You have to speak your mind. And in the other part, we talked of being decisive. So we also have what is positivity. Can you talk good? Do not talk the negative part of it. You should be positive. Let us be or display maturity. Behave maturely. Maturity is a value that is highly needed. You stand for what brings value. Dignity. When handling somebody, please do not mistreat these people. Integrity. Be honest. When you are given something or you are doing something, please do it with honesty. Do it in a way that you can be trusted. Lastly, there's a value known as self-control. Before you talk to this person, before you do the action, you take any necessary, before you react or you do any action, please ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why should I say this? So that is self-control. Those are the values, and I want to add one on what he has actually said. The words, when handling these parents, please, like the rape case he has mentioned, most of these people who are head teachers sometimes get the demotions and even get dismissed from the Teacher Service Commission register for these cases because of giving irrelevant information. The first thing, when an incident takes place in school which is involving either a teacher or the learners, make sure you get enough evidence. Secondly, before you send the child home or you call the parents, make sure that child writes. Because sometimes the children go home or the parents come, they talk to the children, they change the statement. The child change that statement, but once he or she has written something, she cannot easily change. So please, that is very important for those of us. And do not think that it's only those who are in the Teachers Commission. You have had that case from Teacher Boom. There are people who are be registered before they get employed by Teacher Service Commission because of those kind of cases. We have seen them. So that is it. Now my recommendation, I can say these are the remarks for ending this session, especially when it comes to indiscipline. Please try your best. Both the teachers and parents have a critical duty to ensure that the children grow